Here's what I do as a data analyst. I have over 10 years experience as a data analyst, manager of data analytics, and now as a business intelligence engineer. And after all these experiences, I want to give you a realistic picture of what a data analyst does. So let's get started. The first is, what is a data analyst? A data analyst is just someone that gathers data, studies it, and then makes a decision. So think about when you're buying a car. You're going to want to compare prices, look at the different features, decide whether it makes sense to lease a car versus buy it. And after all that analysis, you'll then go ahead and buy the car that's best for you. So that's basically what a data analyst does. They're going to assess all the data points and then make a decision based off of it. And there's many different types of data analysts. I know it's very confusing. There's business analysts, there's financial analysts, healthcare analysts. They all fundamentally do the same data analysis, but the biggest difference will be their domain. So a financial analyst will be working on financial reports, whereas a business analyst is going to be working closer with the business and business decisions. And also some of the roles will be more technical than the other. So what do I do as a data analyst? My role is a mix of business analyst, data engineer, and data analyst. Like a business analyst, I work really closely with the business to determine what are the metrics that impact the business. And like a data engineer, I then work on ingesting the data, building the various data pipelines. And then like a data analyst, I'll then analyze the data and present it. So you can already tell there's a lot of overlap between all of these data roles when you say data analyst versus data engineer versus data scientist. And if you want a video specifically on what the difference is between all of these, let me know in the comments and I'd be happy to do it. What is the workflow of a data analyst? A data analyst works on the problem, then the data, and then reporting. Starting with the problem statement is like a blueprint for a data analyst. It really tells them what direction they need to go in, as well as what is it that they need to solve for. So with the problem statement of what is the best car to buy versus what is the most affordable car to buy, you would be looking at two different data sets, because the problem of what is the best car to buy would require looking at safety ratings, versus the most affordable car, you would solely be looking at prices. And in a workplace setting, you're going to have stakeholders, which are basically just people in your organization who will have business problems and want you to solve them with data. And I document all of that down in a design document outlining the problem, what the solution will be, including the impact. And then I include the metrics that we're going to use in the solution as well, and make sure that we are all aligned before I work on the data. Data is not always readily available, and you'll find that in the real world, you spend a lot of the time looking for data. Now, once you find it, you then have to figure out how to ingest it on a regular basis, and then you work on the actual analysis part of the data. Once the data is prepared, then you'll do the presentation part, which is reporting. It'll either be through a visualization in a BI tool, sometimes it's a simple Excel report, other times it's a data solution. In this process, you want to make sure that you're using your communication skills, getting feedback, and also documenting everything so that if someone asked you a few months later what this report was, you have everything documented. What does a data analyst team look like? Well, it can either be a team of 1 or a team of 10. There really is no standard here. You may find a role where you're the only data analyst, and I've been there, but I didn't really like it because I felt that I didn't have anyone to bounce ideas off with and no one to learn from, whereas now I'm on a team of data engineers as well as partner software engineers, and just being surrounded by a team helps me learn a lot. So I prefer having a larger team, and if you're debating and you even have a chance to decide, I would recommend going with a bigger team. What is the realistic life of a data analyst? I feel like the data analyst life has really been glamorized on social media. It's the trend of people working from home, making 6 figures, working in tech, It's really good, but there are just some realistic downsides that you should be aware of, such as working with stakeholders who will have unrealistic expectations of work from you. At the end of the day, I get a ping from someone who says, hey, can you work on this report and get it done by end of day? And I'm thinking it already is end of day. Then it puts you in a spot of having to work late. And then when you ask those clarifying questions of, hey, what exactly is it that you need? They don't even know. And being honest, there actually have been times where I've had to log in at 9 p.m. even because last minute I get a request saying, hey, can you pull this report? And so having to manage the unrealistic idea that you can pull reports quickly and deliver it happens a lot, and you should just be aware of how to manage your stakeholders. And it's not only last minute deliverables, but you'll get a lot of side chats from people pinging you all day. They'll have questions like, hey, why isn't this dashboard working? Or, hey, can you look into this one problem I have? Honestly, responding to all those reports take up your whole day, and before you know it, by 5 o'clock, you got nothing done. Knowing all this, why am I a data analyst? Well, there are two reasons. The first is work-life balance. So that part is true. I have to say, as a data analyst, I do have a lot of time to myself, and I think that's really important because previously I was working as a consultant working 50-hour weeks, and by the time you're done with work and commute, honestly, I had no time to myself, and that's what made me realize that it's important to have a good career, but also equally important to have a good life outside of your career. And so being a data analyst does allow me to confidently make plans with my friends at 5 o'clock, or have enough time to work on my side passions like YouTube. And if you are enjoying this video, please like and subscribe, as it helps me a lot. And just having the ability to have time to myself is really the deal breaker for me. And second is the pay. So a data analyst pay is very competitive. I'll be honest, especially working in tech, the salary is closer to 150,000, 250,000. And if you're interested more in the salary and want a whole video on that, let me know in the comments because I can do that as well. So should you be a data analyst? Honestly, anyone can be a data analyst, and learning technical skills is something that anyone can do. But what I feel like is overlooked a lot is people don't talk about the soft skills that also are really important in addition to the technical skills. And yes, the technical skills will get you your first job and put your foot in the door, but once you're there, I think what I learned from all my experience is that those soft skills of being able to communicate, influence others, make connections with other teams is really what will get you promoted, will get you a better job. Those are skills that I think are equally as important. And so if you're thinking about a data analyst career, think about all the things I said and see if that is something you realistically see yourself doing. Still want to be a data analyst? Watch my next video on how I'd become a data analyst if I had to start over. Thanks, and I'll see you on that video.